Hello friends, welcome to Matt. In this video, I'm going to explain about debit and credit rules of accounting under traditional approach, or we call this it is an English approach. This video is a very special video. In this, I'm going to explain about accounting rules under traditional approach or English approach. Before explaining the rules, I would like to thank all the accounting professionals who brought a wonderful rules for accounting to maintain accounting records. Without accounting records, we cannot imagine the business result of an organization. If any organization want to know whether a business is running in profit or loss, either if they want to know position of the business, only accounting records will help. While recording transactions, we need to follow the accounting rules. Before accounting rules, we should know about classification of accounts. Let's see the classification of accounts.
Classification of accounts. Accounts classified into two. One is an personal account and impersonal account. Impersonal account, further we are classifying to real account and nominal account. Personal account deal with accounts on natural person, accounts on artificial person, and combination of both as a representative personal account. And the impersonal account deal with real and nominal. A real account deal with accounts for assets, and the nominal account deal with accounts for expenses and incomes. Let's see little detail about personal account, a real account and nominal account. Personal account, further we are classifying three segregation. One is an natural personal account, number two artificial personal account, number three representative personal account. The personal account deal with a name. So a natural personal account deal with accounts for human beings such as Guna account, Hari account, etc. So when we maintain business records in the name of human beings, we are using natural personal account. The another one is an artificial personal account. Accounts for organizations such as banks, firms, companies, etc. When we maintain business records for the organizations in the name of the organization, so by the time we are using artificial personal account. And the representative personal account, outstanding incomes and outstanding expenses such as outstanding salary and accrued rent, etc. So whenever a company have outstandings of expenses as well as outstandings of incomes, outstanding means which is not paid by the company, either which is not received by the company. So by the time they need to maintain record for to whom the company to settle the amount, either from whom the company should receive the amount. So by the time the accounts records should maintain under representative personal account category. Next we'll see the real account. Any transaction between assets of the company, it will come under real account category. Real account we are classifying into two, tangible assets and intangible assets. Tangible assets, accounts for tangible assets. Tangible asset can see, can touch, can feel and can convert into money, such as cash, land, furniture, machinery, gold, silver. So the transaction between any tangible asset, it will come under tangible asset category. Another one is an intangible assets, is an accounts for intangible assets. Intangible asset can't see, can't touch, can feel and can convert into money, such as goodwill. It is a good name of the business. The good name will make more profit of the business. The name no one cannot see, no one cannot touch, but can feel. Patent rights, copyrights, etc. These are the transactions we are recording under intangible asset category. Next we'll see a nominal account. A nominal account, Further, we are classifying into two: expenses and losses account and incomes and gain accounts. Without expenses, no business, as well as without incomes, we cannot imagine the business survival in the future. Now, expenses and losses. This then accounts for expenses and losses such as paying wages, paying salaries, paying interest and depreciation on assets, so etc. So whatever expenses and losses in the business, we are recording under expenses and losses category. And incomes and gains, like accounts for incomes and gains such as commission received, interest received, rent received. For the any income of the business, we are segregating under incomes and gains category. And all three have a rules to apply: a personal, real and nominal. So when we record the business transactions, we used to follow the rules to record the business transaction. Golden rules for accounting. Accounting we are classifying into three: personal account, real account and nominal account. All three have a rules at the time of recording transactions of the business. Personal account: debit the receiver, credit the giver. These rules we need to apply when transaction between natural person, and when transaction between artificial person, and when transaction of outstanding expenses and outstanding incomes. So we should apply this rule only for personal account. At the time of receiving, we need to debit it. At the time of giving, we need to credit it. And next is a real account. A real account rules is an debit what comes in, credit what goes out. If any transaction between assets, we need to use a real account rule. We need to debit when asset comes in, we need to credit when asset goes out. And next is a nominal account. A nominal account rules is an debit all the expenses and losses and credit all the incomes and gains. Any transaction between expenses and any transaction between incomes, only we need to use a nominal account rule. We need to debit whenever we spend for expenses, and we need to credit whenever we get incomes or gains. So when we record the transaction related to a name of the human being, either name of the organization, so we should apply only the personal account rule. When we record the transaction, that transaction related to assets like building, land, machinery, furniture, such, so we should use a real account rule. And when we record the transaction related to expenses and incomes, so we should apply the nominal account rule. That's why a classification is very, very important to apply the rule. Now we will see how to apply the accounting rules. Already we know the accounting classified into three: personal, real and nominal. First we'll see the personal account, and this natural personal account. We'll see the example transaction. Goods purchased from Mr. Vijwal on credit for ₹1 lakh. While recording transaction, we need to see a name of accounts involved, and also we need to see which type of account that is, and then we need to decide which rules we need to apply it. In this transaction, it is two accounts involved. One is an purchase account, another one is an Vijwal account. So we need to think while recording transaction in the business point of view. A business purchased goods, so goods comes in, so we need to debit the purchase, and the goods come under real account because it has a value, and we should apply the rule debit what comes in ₹1 lakh. And the Vijwal come under natural personal category. The name of accounts involved is in Vijwal, and type of account he come under natural personal account, and he is a giver of the goods ₹1 lakh. So whenever we record the transaction, we need to see a name of accounts which is involved in this, and which type of account it is, and also we need to identify which rules we need to apply it. Example 2. artificial personal account. We'll see the transaction. Goods sold to Tata Company Limited on credit for rupees 50,000. So we need to see in this transaction the name of accounts involved and which type of account, and we need to know which rules we need to apply it. So in this transaction, the name of accounts involved is an Tata Company Limited as well as sales. Tata Company Limited come under artificial personal category, and Tata Company Limited is an receiver of the goods at the time of sale. So we need to apply the rules, debit the receiver. We need to debit 50,000 rupees, and for organization point of view, it is on sales, so goods goes out of the business, so we need to record as a sales account. Sales account come under a real account because sales has a value, and we should apply the rules, credit what goes out 50,000. Example 3, representative personal account. We'll see the transaction. Outstanding salary rupees 30,000. So in this transaction, the employee rendered service to the organization, but the organization not yet paid the salary. So we need to think organization point of view at the time of recording transaction. So here the name of accounts involved is salary as well as outstanding salary. Salary come under a type of accounts is a nominal account because salary is an expenses for the business, so it's come under nominal account, and we should apply the rules, debit all the expenses and losses 30,000. An outstanding salary which is not paid, the employee is an representative of the salary, so the type of accounts involved here is an representative personal account, and we should apply the rules, credit the giver 30,000. Now we will see the real account example. Building purchased for cash rupees 5 lakh. So we need to see the name of accounts involved and the type of accounts in as well as debit and credit rules. So in this transaction, the name of accounts involved is an building as well as cash. So here the organization purchasing building, at the time of purchase building comes in, so we should record the building. Building come under a real account, and we should apply the rules, debit what comes in. So at the time of purchase building comes into the organization, so we need to apply the debit rules of real account. So at the time of buying the building, the organization paid cash as a consideration, so cash account come under a real account, and the rules we need to apply, credit what goes out. So building comes in and cash goes out 5 lakh. Next we'll see the example of a nominal account. Example 1, the transaction wages paid rupees 20,000. So here the name of accounts involved is an wages as well as cash, because wages the organization paid in the term of cash, so wages account and cash account. Wages come under nominal category because wages is an expenses for the business, and we need to apply the rules as a debit rule, debit all the expenses and losses 20,000, and at the time of paying wages the company paid way of cash, so we should record as a cash come under a real account, cash goes out, so we should apply the rules, credit what goes out 20,000. So without real account, no nominal account, because without money we cannot meet any expenses. And next example of incomes, interest received rupees 20,000. Here the name of accounts involved is an cash as well as interest. So at the time of receiving interest, the company will receive in the term of cash. So cash account come under a real account category, and the rules we need to apply, debit what comes in. At the time of receiving cash comes into the organization, so we should apply the rules, debit what comes in 20,000, and we got cash because of interest. So interest is an income, so income come under nominal category, so incomes we need to credit it. So we should apply the rule, credit all the incomes and gains 20,000. So we need to know how to classify the account and how to apply the rules. Hope you understood this particular concept. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel.
Thank you.